Hi there, this is H. Victoria Hargro Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer, and today I'd like to talk to you a bit about editing because it's so important to the process. We spend a lot of time writing the perfect story. We love that process. It's like heaven on earth for a writer to sit there and create a world outside of yourself with characters who move around in this imaginary arena on their own. But once that story's done, then the real work begins, which is the editing. And sometimes it takes forever to edit, but it's very important that you do this carefully and thoughtfully. And then find some super smart, super intelligent friends who can read your writing and give you their honest opinion. And they can tell you whether this character you recreated is valid or not. If this chapter you've written is cohesive enough, or if it's in sync with the rest of the story. Sometimes they'll say, take that piece out because that has nothing to do with the story. Why did you write this part? You went too far. It's too far out there. I know when you're reading stories, sometimes you could even say, where in the world did this writer get this idea? Where did this come from? It's the same thing is when you are writing yourself. You need to self-edit yourself, look at each chapter, look at each character and see if they live, if they deserve to live and exist within the story that you're writing. You may want to take a whole chapter out and give it to another book. Or you may take a character out and give that to another book. Or you may just want to eliminate it altogether. So take a moment and think about this, the process of editing, because it's critical to every good book. Now, one of the things I loved about James Michner when he was living, he said that he edited his books over a year, sometimes maybe 2 years, because he edits one page a day. Now, I don't think I could do that because I'm not James Michner. But I do think one should take your time and edit it with precision. One of the tricks that I've learned as I have been writing for many years now is to edit from back to front rather than from front to back, because once you start reading your story front to back, you get involved in the story and you miss some of the things that you normally would not miss if you were doing it just the opposite way. So develop your own style in doing this, but it's really important that you put the attention there because editing really is what makes your book. And it doesn't matter if you have to rewrite whole sections of it, throw out chapters, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is the finished product. So I always suggest that once you write a story, sit it aside, let it ferment, let it mature on its own, just like you send your child out into the world to gather their experiences so they become a better, more focused person. You want to do that with your writing too. Make sure that you lay it aside and come back to it and take a look at it and see how you like it. See if it stands up. See if that's the ideals or the characters, the development, whatever you are trying to get over in your book or in your poem or in your article. See if that's still valid. Did you hit your points? And there are some things you want to be very careful about, and make sure that you finish that process with all the objectivity you can derive, because being objective is the most important thing about editing. You're analyzing this piece as an individual outside of yourself or as a project outside of yourself. Do not take it personally, because this story has to live in the world. Once you set it free, it belongs to everyone, or to everyone who chooses to read it. So take your time and go through this process. And like I said, get some great readers, people you trust that will be able to look at that piece and give you an objective point of view. So that is really critical. And take your time. Don't rush it, because this is the most critical thing you can do and the most wonderful thing you can do for your book or your article or your poem or whatever. So take a moment and just sit, look at your piece, rearrange your chapters if you have to. A lot of times you start out putting chapter one last. A lot of writers have done that. They start with the ending of the story and then they work backwards. So think about how you want to position your chapters. You lay them out on your table and see how they fit together. You may want to change a few around, not the way you wrote them, but the way they make sense. So doing little tricks like that helps the story become more animated and exciting. So take up that challenge, okay? Now, before you go, be sure to like my channel and also to subscribe and join our electronic family here. So push that red button and that will be your entrance into our electronic family. And I love talking about writing. It's one of my favorite things to do. So before I go, I would like you to pick up a copy of Enslaved. This is my latest book. Take a look at it and then drop me a line. Let me know what you think. And if you have a topic you want me to discuss with you about writing or anything about being a writer, whatever, just put them on the comment section and I will make sure that I respond to them, okay? So you take care. Love to you and love to your family. God bless.